would love to build on the success that he had in that previous round. But that's a big shot.
David Morrell versus Imam Khatev on the Shakur V Zepeda undercard for July 12th. This fight is actually going to, it might be fight of the night. Looking at all the other matchups, I don't see another matchup that's going to be as, there's going to be like a slugfest like this one. With Khatev starting out on the B side. Khatev, I think he's coached by George Kambosos' father. And he's Australian. I thought he was German with the whole Khatev thing, last name. But starting with Khatev's style, he's just like a brick wall, slinging bricks at you. And he's starting with all the positives first. Strong power. All right foot movement. He likes to move his head a lot. He gets hit in the head a lot, but he likes to move his head a lot. And to the negatives, there's not that much defensive prowess inside of Khatev. He's more offensive based, looking to just slug it out and knock out his opponents, because he's a heavy dude. He's a giant, and it looks like he wants his power to take all, and his focus is more on just demolition, and that's not going to go very well with a fighter like David Morrell, who's fundamentally sound, a lot of footwork. Like, he has this thing where he hops on his feet, and he is also he's more in and out with his offense, where he doesn't get, I can't say caught a lot, because he was getting caught in the David Benavidez fight. But he circles a lot more, he angles a lot more, he picks his shots a lot cleaner. Not that Khatev isn't a great counter puncher, but it seems like his style was more of a just get him out of there kind of guy. With Khatev's last fight against Palacio, I mean, they were just kind of slugging it out. There's not too much technicality to speak on, unlike with the David Morrell and Benavidez. Yes, although David Benavidez eventually made it his fight, made it where Morrell just had to kind of brawl it out, even though that didn't seem like his game plan going into the fight. He was forced upon him. And going back to Khatev, I see a fighter that just wants to get the knockout. Not that there is no technique, there's just little technique to speak on. He just throws power shots. Excuse me. And not that that's not going to overtake David Morrell later on through the fight, but going to the Palacio fight, his last fight, he was gassed out by the 5th or 6th round, and his eye was closing in on him, so that could have played a factor into it, because Palacio was laying it down on him. All the power shots was coming right back at Khatev because of his lack of defense and lack of movement. Yeah, he would move his head, but he was getting caught every single time he was trying to show some Canelo head movement in the ring. And Palacio isn't that high. He isn't even ranked anymore in the top 15 for all 4 belts. There is no rankings for Palacio compared to David Morrell's last opponent. Yes, it was a slugger in David Benavidez, but I think we all can agree that David Benavidez has skill. He comes in with a game plan to wear out his opponents as the fight goes on. And not that Palacio isn't a talented fighter. He's just not. He doesn't have the accolades, nor does he no longer have the rankings. So, going to David Morrell's side of things, the ace side, I believe, he has the advantage in defense. I don't know if he has the advantage in power. He was moving a lot in the Benavidez fight, but ultimately he succumbed to the pressure of David with the power of David. And in my opinion, from just what I saw, David Benavidez' punches was just sliding off of Gosvic, who took a 2-year break out of boxing and then came back just for the Benavidez fight to look like not the stronger but unaffected by Benavidez's punches. So if he was succumbing to the pressure of David Benavidez, he's going to succumb to the pressure of Khatev. Just from what I saw, if Khatev can land on Morrell, it's going to make a dangerous fight for him. But I'm excited to see how this plays out. In my opinion, I see David Morrell using his footwork, circling his opponents on Khatev, but not necessarily having, I can't say having the power to drop him, because Khatev's just there to be hit. He's kind of stagnant. There's not too much footwork to speak on that side. He's there to be hit, but I don't think he has a chin. He's a literal brick wall, slinging steel at his opponents, steel rods for hands. So I don't want to say that David Morrell is going to drop him, but I can see David Morrell just outboxing him for 12 rounds, because unlike Khatev, he didn't gas out against Benavidez, a volume puncher, throwing back-to-back shots. So, on the flip side, I could see Khatev forcing David Morrell. David Morrell. I'm getting confused with all these names. I could see him gassing him out with the power, because he's a sharp counter puncher. I can see him gassing him out with the power and just coming forward non-stop. And I wouldn't be surprised if he just throws a one shot that drops Morrell and just stuns him a bit, because he is a powerful dude. Yes, he only has 10 fights, but out of that 10, there's 9 knockouts. And with David Morrell, I don't think he's that big of a knockout puncher. What is he, like 11 fights? Why do they not fight anyone? Why is it 10 fights and 11 fights? Why are they not fighting? How in the hell do you become a top level boxer fighting once every year? I don't know, but I'm interested to see how this fight plays out.